Judith Butler's theory of formativity offers an insightful and necessary rethinking of language acquisition. Rather than saying language as a neutral system acquired through mental or behavioral processes, Butler reframes it as a powerful tool that shapes our very identities. This idea is significant because it suggests that learning how to speak a language is not just about a vocabulary or grammar, but about learning how to exist within society. When children begin to speak, they are not merely learning to communicate. They are being shaped into particular kinds of people through the expectations and rules embedded in language. Language then is not just simply learned, it performs the individual into being. This performative aspect of language also reveals its potential to harm. Butler's concept that speech acts can be injurious emphasizes how language is tied to power. It can silence, exclude, or misrecognize individuals, especially those who do not or cannot conform to dominant norms. Language acquisition then is not always empowering. It can also be a site of vulnerability. This becomes even more apparent in educational and social settings, where only one way of speaking, one accent, or one cultural norm is accepted. Learners are forced to conform to these standards to be heard or respected, which can be emotionally and psychologically damaging. Furthermore, Butler's ideas are reinforced by critical scholars like Althusser and Pinnicott, who expose how language learning is entangled in ideology. Althusser's notion of interpellation, being hailed into a subject position, shows how language fixes people into roles defined by society. Pinnicott expands this by revealing how language policies often privilege certain languages and cultures, particularly English over others. This hierarchy marginalizes speakers of indigenous or minority languages, making it clear that language acquisition is not merely educational but deeply political. The classroom becomes a site where power dynamics are enacted, not just where the information is transferred. In conclusion, Judith Butler's formative theory pushes us to critically examine how language learning shapes who we are and how we are seen. It urges educators, learners, and policymakers to recognize that language is never neutral. It carries social rules, hierarchies, and expectations. To learn a language is to enter a world of meanings that may affirm or deny one's identity. Therefore, language education must move beyond technical instruction and become a space where difference is acknowledged, inclusion is prioritized, and learners are empowered to speak without fear of being undone.